Night of fantastic, amazing, scintillating, now biting Champions League football. Ati get the 2-1 win over Dortmund, and Barcelona shock a lot of people this evening with a 3-2 victory away from home at the Parc des Princes. The Parc des Princes. Did I just say that? The Parc. Yes, whatever. My brain's gone. What a great game it was against Paris Saint-Germain. And I want to start with that game. I want to start. Both games are beautiful, just like last night. What a wonderful first installment of quarterfinals that we have had the privilege of witnessing. It's been absolutely spellbinding. But I want to start with the PSG game because it looked as though it was going to be a game of two halves. I thought in the first half, Paris Saint-Germain were trash, absolute trash. They had a fair amount of the ball. In fact, I'm just going to go and check that I haven't got my facts wrong here. 51% of the ball. But they looked lethargic. They looked, I don't want to use the word tired, but they almost looked devoid of ideas. And it wasn't in the game. Horrible mistake. 37 minutes in from Donnarumma, who, by the way, I think looks atrocious in goal right now for Paris Saint-Germain. A mistake from him. Barcelona had capitalized. Rafinha with his first ever Champions League goal. That's according to the commentary I was listening to. I haven't researched that myself. And Barcelona were in the driving seat. And I would say on the balance of the first half, Barcelona deserved it. And then you're sitting there and thinking, okay, Luis Enrique, PSG. Is it happening again? Is this club allergic to knockout football? Does this club have the ability to actually deliver? I know they've been to a final once, but it didn't turn up in that. It always seems to be, whether it's the quarters, the semi, or the final, they throw it away. And the start of that second half, the goal from Ousmane Dembele was absolutely out of this world. A few moments later, wonderful football, finished off with a great deep run from Vitinha, buries it into the bottom corner. And for about the next 5, 6, 7 minutes, they were dominating. And it looked as though, do you know what? Fair play, Paris Saint-Germain. You've got over that first half problem. You brought on Bacola and took off Asensio, a little bit of a reshuffle, a bit of a reshape, some good management from Luis Enrique, and it looked great. But then Xavi made his move, and he brings into the mix João Felix and Pedri. And Pedri, in the build-up to the equalizer, the pass from him is just astounding. The weight of the pass, the accuracy, the ability to kind of do it out of nowhere as well. It was just sublime. The finish from Rafinha, his second goal of the night, his second Champions League knockout goal for Barcelona. And it's 2-2, game on. And from that point, I know they hit the post, okay? I know they had a couple of chances and they should. They're at home, it's PSG. But they went flat again. They went absolutely flat. And then from a set piece, Christensen literally on for a minute, stands up tall, puts Barcelona in front, and really gives them that really solid advantage going to the Camp Nou in just under a week's time, 6 days' time, advantage Barcelona. And a lot of people picked PSG to progress, and they still could from this point. But my money is now on Barcelona to go through. You saw the way they matched up tonight. It's going to be very similar at the Camp Nou, but with the home support for Barcelona, I think they're going to make it through to the semi-finals now. Disappointed tonight with Donnarumma in goal. Errors, obviously, the opening error led to that goal. But I was really disappointed with Kylian Mbappe this evening because he's such a talent. He's such a quality football player. Where was he? Where was he tonight? No real attempts on goal, a few good bursts on the ball, but it was a really quiet and disappointing night for many people's best player in the world now. A lot of people claim he's the best player in the world. Forget Bellingham, forget Haaland, not Hoyland, forget Haaland, whoever it may be. This man is number one. And I'm not saying he can't, I'm not saying that he isn't that guy because he hasn't performed tonight, but I'm disappointed in the fact he didn't turn up tonight, especially when Paris Saint-Germain needed him. And they needed him on every level this evening, and he just wasn't there. he will be hoping for, and I'm sure that the sort of the Parisians and the fans of Paris Saint-Germain will be demanding a much better performance from him in that second leg, because it isn't over. And he has the ability to go away to Barcelona, bag a hat-trick, put Paris Saint-Germain into the semi-finals. But I was really disappointed with just his lack of involvement tonight overall. And I think it serves as a stark reminder that sometimes a lot of people lie in the online football world about how much football they watch from different countries and continents, etc. This idea that top players can't have a bad night, I think, is all too often reserved for players that play in England, whether they're English or foreign, is irrelevant. It's, oh, he didn't have a good game tonight. He didn't have a good game. Happens regularly. Kylian Mbappe, a lot of people's de facto best in the world, silent this evening. Flop of the night goes to him, and probably Donnarumma collectively with the mistake. But they've got 6 days to get ready and then turn it round. What do you think is going to happen? Now, moving on to the other game. Listen, it was such a weird game. And when I say weird, Dortmund, for me, played the better football throughout. They dominated possession, 65, 66, 67%. I think they had a very similar amount of shots in the game. Lots of shots on target by Atletico, but very, very even everywhere else in terms of attempts. And what's crazy is it was 2 mistakes, one from Maatsen and one from Hummels, that led to the opening 2 goals for Atletico. Yes, they had chances on the break when Dortmund were really pushing for it. They should have scored from a free kick very late on. Kobel, I think is the name of the Dortmund goalkeeper. The save from him was just, if there's an award for save of the season, that may be it right there. How he got there, how he stopped it becoming 3-0 was massive. And it gave Dortmund that lifeline. I want to say about Jadon Sancho tonight, very, very impressed with his overall performance. He's switching from the left and the right. He made some really good runs. He was comfortable in possession. I see him tracking back. And 2 thoughts went through my mind. Why didn't I see this more at Man United? His fault, manager's fault. I don't really care right now. I was a little gutted. Then I was positive that if he puts in performances like this in the Champions League, we're either going to get him back a better player than he was, or we're going to get more money for him in the transfer window. But I was really happy for Jadon Sancho tonight to see him performing, looking happy, looking loose, looking fit, doing his thing. Sebastian Aller, of course, went through a torrid time just over a year or so ago and recovered now, comes on and grabs that late late goal to make it 2-1, to sort of draw back the goals from, I think it was DePaul and Leno that scored. And that goal will give Dortmund so much hope. And I know that Atletico know how to think the house out. I know they know how to play that sort of terrorist football, as people call it, and hold on to that 1-goal lead. But it's an intimidating place to go in Dortmund. And if Dortmund can perform to similar levels they did tonight in terms of controlling the game, but just be a little more clinical, and they almost were, Brandt right at the end of the game hits the crossbar, they are still well in this tie. And all 4 quarterfinals are so well poised. 2 of them on draws, the other 2 with narrow leads to Atletico and to Barcelona, respectively. So I'm very excited to see what happens in the next round of games. Who goes through, Atletico Madrid or Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain or Barcelona? Let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you soon. Peace.